Back for another one. Welcome back to the Risky Powerhouse. We here again, man. It's 11-11. We still got the Suns playing right now versus Utah. No Donovan Mitchell, no Gobert. So I expect Phoenix to pull this game out. So if I keep looking down, y'all wondering what I'm looking at. I'm looking at these games. So yeah, the Charlotte Hornets just got finished beating the brakes off the Indiana Pacers, and I just had to come talk about it straight up. Like, dudes put up 158 points. 158 points. Think about that. Now they allowed 126 to Indiana, but by the third quarter they were just managing. It wasn't even a matter of trying to get stops anymore. It was just a matter of burning out the game clock. You feel me? It's like every single quarter they got more lethal. Like they opened up the game 33 to 36, so they was down by 3 heading into the second quarter. They then put up 38 in the second, 42 in the third, and 45 points in the fourth quarter. These dudes have four guys with 20 points or more. Kelly Oubre put up 39. LaMelo Ball, the golden child, one of my boys, 29 points, 13 assists, 10 rebounds, a steal and a block. He shot 11 for 16. Rozier, 6 for 12. He had 20 points. Miles Bridges, 8 for 10 from the field. He had 22 points. No Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward was out the game, if I'm not mistaken, COVID protocol. He got hit about 2 hours before the game. So one thing I like about Charlotte is they have a deep wing position with Oubre, with Bridges, with Gordon Hayward. You got guys coming off the bench in the front court. It's P.J. Washington. You got Martin Twin. You got Plumlee as your starting center. So they got a lot of wings and power forwards that they can switch in and out if somebody gets hurt or if somebody hits the protocol or whatever. My boy Book Knight got some minutes tonight. Even he got 13 points. The dude Oubre hit 10 threes. It was a game earlier this year where he hit 8 threes. That was his career high. Now he back with another career high this season. He had a bad year in Golden State, and I don't think that year was a completely the entirety of what he was as a player. When you watched him in Phoenix in the bubble when he was averaging 18 points for that season, I'm glad he's getting opportunity in Charlotte to ball out. Dude had 39 on 12 for 18 in 35 minutes. Kelly Oubre this season averaging 16 points and 4 rebounds for the Charlotte Hornets. Definitely add more depth to their second unit. And when you talk about the Indiana Pacers, Malcolm Brogdon out, Domantas Sabonis out, Miles Bridges out, T.J. Warren out. It's like, what can you really blame Rick Carlisle for them losing this bad at this point? It's like they were bad. They've been bad all year. They 17 and 32, and when you look at the roster that they have, you would think that they have enough talent to be at least 500, at least. And when you look at the Eastern Conference, when you look at the Boston Celtics and you look at the Washington Wizards,
You'd be eligible for USAA. Grandparent.
when you look at the Eastern Conference and you see all of the other teams that's 500 and that's competing, you would think that Indiana would be a little bit closer to there. I was having a conversation with one of my friends in the chat, and this was my preference, this is what I started the conversation with. I said, bro, I want you to try to put your mind in the NBA 3 years ago. Put your mind in the NBA 3 years ago. So you got to remember, 3 years ago was the 2018-19 season, 18-19, 19-20, 2021, 21-22. So put me in the 18-19 season. LeBron just got to LA. Anthony Davis was in New Orleans. If I'm not mistaken, Jimmy Butler had just left. He was in Philly. He was getting out of Minnesota that year. Got to Philly, made a little playoff run, then left Philly that next summer and went to Miami. But the Chicago Bulls is the number 2 seed. The Miami Heat is the number 1 seed. The Cleveland Cavaliers, without LeBron James, is 30 and 19 right now in the number 3 seed and just won a marquee game against the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton. Before tonight's game, they were 18 and 3 this year in the 21 games where all 3 of those guys played. Cleveland just made them 18 and 4. Cleveland is really showing to be one of the more competitive teams in the NBA. And like I mentioned in the earlier video, it's just so good to see because of the difference in how they play compared to the rest of the league with all those bigs. Kevin Love had a good game today against Milwaukee and some more stuff. But when you get back to the mind of the Eastern Conference 3 years ago, and you see the Charlotte Hornets, you see the Toronto Raptors without DeRozan and Lowry, they're in the ninth seed right now. You look at the West, you got Phoenix in the number 1 seed. Memphis is the number 3 seed. Dallas is the number 5 seed. Just 3 to 4 years ago, Dallas was awful. Dallas was awful. They won like 20-something games. And to see them, get Luka and start to build in the right direction, now they're a 5 seed. Minnesota is the number 7 seed. And we are 46 games into the year, 47 games into the year. That's amazing. That's amazing. Portland, 20-27. The Lakers are 500 with Anthony Davis and LeBron on the roster. Now, I know they haven't been healthy all year or whatever, but they're the 9 seed right now, behind the Clippers, where Kawhi Leonard haven't played one game all year. Who would have ever thought that, right? It's like, man, when you look at the landscape of the league, it's good to see parity. There's no guaranteed champion right now, no guaranteed winner. You got teams like Charlotte blowing people out, then they can lose 2 in a row. You got teams like Cleveland that can beat any contender right now. You got Chicago, who is trying to hold on to a top 4 seed with a lot of injury going on, a lot of instability in the rotations. They're trying to just hold fort until at least the All-Star break, so where they can get that extra week to get healthy and stuff. When you look at it, it's not a lot of room for error. When you look at the 1 through the 6 seed in the East, it's all separated by 2 games. 2 games. Philly is the 6 seed. If they win their next 2 games and no other team play a game, they'll be the 1 seed. And it's just as simple as that. You got Charlotte, they're extra 2 games behind, so they're about 4 games behind the number 1 seed, which is slim. That's a slim margin. Any bad week for any team means a drastic shift in the standings. And when you look at the West, it's a lot more spacious. The 500 ball clubs are pretty much the 7 through the 9 seed. Then you got 5 games over 500, Denver Nuggets. You got 6 games over 500 at the 5 seed, the Dallas Mavericks, and then 30-18 for the Utah Jazz. And the top 3 seeds are pretty much solidified. At 33-17, the Memphis Grizzlies. Bruh, if you had to pick a championship winner right now, drop your comment. I want to know who you think will win the championship and why, and what make you think it's a clear shot. I don't think no team have a clear shot, man. Any team could get it done at any given moment. Now, I feel like I got to switch over for this one. Y'all gonna like this. Shout out to your boy, Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum is finally coming through for the Boston Celtics. Over the last 3 or 4 games, the man has been on a tear. Yesterday, they beat the brakes off the Sacramento Kings. They beat them by 53 points, 128-75. And one reason I like this win a little bit more than the win that Charlotte got over the Indiana Pacers is because they held the Kings to 75 points. The Sacramento Kings only had one person in double figures, and that was Buddy Hield, who shot 4 for 14 for 11 points. The Boston Celtics, both of the duo, Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, both had 30. Tatum had 36. The other night, Tatum went for a crazy 51-10-7. I didn't get behind the camera because I had some situations going on in the very next day, but it's cool. Dude, his past 3 games before that 51-point game, he was 0 for 17 from threes. He came out roasting. Dude was 18 for 28, 9 for 14 threes, 6 for 6 from the free throw. Tatum, when he gets it going, he have a high ceiling in terms of when he get hot. He's one of those players that you don't want to get a couple shots going on you because he got the length. He can get to every pull up because of his size and his high release point when he shoot. And the dude, when he not settling, he getting aggressive, going to the rim, diving to the rim for dunks. That's when Tatum unlocked, because when he's just settling for mid-range, he's not putting pressure on the defense. He's settling in the one-on-ones, which makes the defense, get to sit on you a little bit more force you into longer range shots away from the rim off the dribble and stuff like that. But when he get into that rim defending, it's good to see him getting back to the defense as well. One thing about it, in that game against the Sacramento Kings yesterday, he took 14 threes on 23 shots. Like I said, I don't like that too much. But do I see them getting better as a unit? I think right now they're just playing well in the last few games or so. But overall, I need to see the style start to evolve. I need to see him getting the teammates involved, because him taking 23 shots, Brown taking 19 shots, and then everybody else divvying the rest, you might be able to get some more assistance from your other guys. You know what I mean? When you start to learn how to manipulate that double team more, start to be a well-rounded wing. And one good thing about Tatum and Brown is the defensive prowess was the base of their game when they were young, because they started as role players. So I like to see them add another layer, which would be commanding the double team, accepting the double team, and making plays for everybody around you in fourth quarters. You can score all the first 3 quarters, or you can manage here and there. And when you get to the fourth quarter, you can be a lot more decisive in how you score, or get a teammate involved in terms of setting up Robert Williams with lobs. That Robert Williams, Jayson Tatum pick and roll have been unstoppable, because Rob gives him that vertical threat to where when he turned the corner, it's a hard decision to make for the big man to either step up and contest that mid range, or take away Robert Williams' role. And he's setting brick wall screens, and Tatum is getting to that shot, bro. So shout out to the Boston Celtics, man. I wanted to show some love to the Boston Celtics fans, because they've been having a long year. They trying to get up out of that 500 curse. They 25-24 right now. They back over 500. They re-jumped the Toronto Raptors. So hopefully they can start to climb and try to get out of that play-in, heading towards the All-Star break and coming out of the All-Star break. Boston, we know they have experience. We know Tatum and Brown and Smart, those guys been through the fire, and Al Horford, et cetera, et cetera. But just because you've been there, that don't mean you're going to get there again. And you can't just rely on that. You got to show up every single night and clock in and come in with the attitude to be the greatest version of yourself, and not just volume shooting and, being a poison on the team's offense. Jayson Tatum, we know how offensively talented he is. The talent don't matter, though. It's about how you take your talent, how you take your pros and your cons, and how you put it together on the basketball floor to impact the team. And right now, Jayson Tatum only have 1.0 offensive win shares. For people who don't know what that means, win shares are a cumulative stat. So if you are a player who plays most of the games and you are an elite player, you're supposed to produce at least one offensive win share per 10 games or so. Per 10 games, that's light work. There's no way. Now, we know LeBron James playing at an absolutely crazy level, but there's no way that Tatum should have been playing 10 games more than LeBron, and LeBron have surpassed him in offensive win shares, because it's a cumulative stat. You know what I mean? It's not an average. So y'all should go and look at the win shares in terms of the entirety of the league and compare and contrast, so y'all can get a better idea of what it means when I say that these players' stats, PERs, win shares, box plus minuses, and all those things, y'all need to go and really look at the top echelon of the league, because if y'all did, y'all would see that Nikola Jokic is the most impactful, dominant player, however you want to say it. His numbers carry the most weight in the NBA right now. Like, the dude had another monster game last night. 29 points, 21 rebounds, and 9 assists. Now, he shot 9 for 20, but I would take that because he's been crazy efficient all year, shooting 60% from the field, 37 from 3. The dude, is doing everything for the Denver Nuggets. And when you look at his second best player right now is Aaron Gordon or Jeff Green. And they are 5 games over 500 right now, sitting in the 6th seed in the West, fighting for that 5 seed with the Dallas Mavericks. Shout out to the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic, man. Right now, Portland down 5 to the Dallas Mavericks. Utah down 2 to the Phoenix Suns. I'm still tuned into that. But when you look at just how slim of a margin it is, it look like Dallas might win tonight. But, they lose one game and Denver win one more, and that's the 5 seed right there. So Dallas got to be careful. Luka got to be careful with how, you relax in some games. You can't relax. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. You can't relax. Denver beat Brooklyn tonight. Last night was the game. Who they played last night when he had 29, 21, and 9? I'm not sure, but they played Brooklyn tonight. No KD, no Kyrie, no James Harden. And Yoke got it done. Again, 26 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. 8 assists. And he shot 8 for 13, 2 for 2 from 3, and 8 for 8 from the free throw. The dude, Nikola Jokic, every single box squad watch of him, man, the dude is hyper efficient. And that's why his team can still have functionality when they're so depleted, because he's so reliable. Every single night, you know exactly what he's going to give you. You know he's going to be dominant offensively, chasing 25 points in an efficient manner. You know that he's not taking every single shot on offense, so he's giving more opportunity to the role players to get in rhythm. You know, guys who aren't as gifted and efficient like Will Barton. Will Barton can go out there and take 20 shots, shoot 8 for 20, and get 21 points and 10 rebounds, because Yoke only took 13 shots.
Has given me the control of my hair.
So, yeah, man, shout out to that dude, Nikola Jokic, bro. He carrying Denver Nuggets. Right now, it's looking like they storming towards that 5 seed. If Nikola Jokic somehow find a way to get into the top 4 of the Western Conference, we really have to give him the MVP gift wrap. You know what I mean? Gift wrap it. Straight up, send it to his front door, because he deserve it. He deserve it. He's the most dominant player in the league right now. This season, Nikola Jokic have had the best individual season, period. And it's some other guys like Embiid who's coming along. You got Giannis, who's been a solid staple throughout the course of the season. But Giannis took a bad loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the marquee matchup that dropped them down to the 5 seed. So now we were all expecting the Milwaukee Bucks to trend up, with Chicago dealing with injury, with Brooklyn dealing with injury and COVID. I was expecting the Milwaukee Bucks to take that number 1 seed, but it's not looking like that's the case. And without the number 1 seed, Giannis is not going to get MVP. So I'm interested to see who can get it going, who can, pull it out. Yeah, I'm interested to see who can get it going, who can pull it out. If y'all got any players that y'all think gonna win the MVP, or if anything I said was not me contradicting, y'all let me know in the comments. Drop future video ideas. I'm thinking about doing a 5-part top 10 series where I do the top 10 of each position. I think that'll be a lot of fun. The top 5 is pretty easy, but it's that bottom 5 that's real controversial. So be looking forward to those videos. Subscribe if y'all new. If y'all made it this far, do me a favor, leave it a like. You know, the support goes a long way for the growth of the channel. Drop a comment, as it helps build the relevancy of the videos for other people to be able to see. And y'all keep watching ball, man. Keep that conversation going. Check out the Instagram, the Twitter, the Facebook. All those links will be in the description. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. I love y'all. It's the RiSSky Powerhouse. I'm out of here, and y'all will see me later.